Hey everybody, this is Reza.
This is Sandy.
Welcome back to episode 54 of the Stone Cold Sober podcast.
We hope everyone had a lovely Christmas holiday break.
Yeah.
Maybe most of you guys who are listening might still be on their break. And if you are, well, good for you.
Yeah. That's me. I'm lounging real hard right now, dude.
How hard are you lounging on a scale of 1 to 10?
I'm gonna put me like at an 8 right now.
Jesus,
Could be
just
a little...
everything on power saving mode, huh?
Basically, I finally, I've needed some time to reinstall Windows 10 on my computer. So I've been doing a lot of backups, just confirming that the reinstall. But I'm doing a clean wipe, hoping that the clean wipe will just fix whatever random problems that I've been having, and I just want to make sure that I have everything backed up so that way I can have as smooth of a transition as possible. And
okay.
So I got that backup going on in the background. I'm hoping to just start that up either tonight or tomorrow. But I got like pajama pants on. I got some pajama pants for Christmas, which I don't have pajama pants. I don't.
You don't strike me as a man who wears pajama pants.
I've never owned a pair in my life, but I got a pair. I'm sitting in them. They're very, very, very comfortable. They're warm.
Now, did you just say pajama?
Pajama pants.
Interesting. Not pajamas.
Are you a pajama? I don't know. Pajama. Same thing to me.
Pajama sounds interesting. I don't think I've ever referred to them as pajama pants.
I don't know what I refer to them as. That's just, it just happens. It just happened.
Okay. So what have you been doing? What have you and yours been up to?
Well, what did I do? I guess early this week I still went into lab, did some work. And then was it Christmas Eve? I went out with a good friend of mine, a good family friend, Tom. He's actually listening to the podcast. Maybe not super consistently, but he does listen to the podcast. So shout out to Tom if you listen to this episode. He was home for the break, and so we went out with he and a friend and did some Christmas shopping. So he actually got an Xbox for himself, not for anybody else. Got an Xbox for himself, and then he did some shopping for his parents. After that, we went to Applebee's for dinner, and he kept hyping. So his friend's from New Zealand, right? And she directs some commercials, and so she was just visiting different states, and so she came around here for a few days, and he just would not stop hyping up how Applebee's was the finest dining experience that you'll have in America. And I was like, you are hyping up Applebee's way too much right now, man. I need you to take it down like
is this man getting paid by Applebee's to say this?
That's almost what it felt like, because this man was hyping up Applebee's so hard. I'm like, dude, I don't think I've ever heard like anybody hype up Applebee's so hard. Like it's good. Most food that you eat that you'll pay for in America is good. Like chain restaurants, they're acceptable. Their food, they're good. It's just not like amazing,
I don't even think the guy who owns Applebee's goes to Applebee's when they're celebrating good news.
Exactly. Why would he do that? He's rich.
Right. He's rich. He can eat whatever he wants.
Yeah.
He ain't eating at no Applebee's.
It's fried food. It's certainly not like the healthiest food in the world. It's just like classic American
No, it's
food.
just not healthy, period. There is no qualifier on that statement.
There are some healthy options. I will give them that. But, I would not go to celebrate very much at Applebee's. All right.
Right.
The last time I think we ever celebrated anything was Applebee's. At Applebee's was when our high school football team made it to the playoffs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Applebee's was the spot to go to after Unionville football games when we were like juniors and seniors.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So there's that.
Okay.
So anyway, the next day,
did she believe him?
No. And I made sure that she wouldn't believe him. But
just be like, listen, I can't sit here and idly let this man just desecrate all the fine dining that this country has to offer by saying
exactly
that Applebee's has the best.
Exactly.
Nothing wrong with Applebee's. Do they still do half apps after 10?
I want to say yes, but I'm not really sure.
Well,
I don't really go to Applebee's very often. So coincidentally, though, I did go to Applebee's once before this very same week. I went there with Lena. We did a little bit of takeout.
Okay.
But so yeah, the next day I went to Lena's place for Christmas, and so I hung out there just about all day. I think I went there. I got there. at about 10:15, 10:30 maybe, the latest. Um, did a lot of gift opening, and as you know, she's had a lot of family, and she's had a lot of family over. Most of them have left, but a few of them are still around. So her little cousin, her aunt, her cousin, a couple of like distant cousins, second, third cousins. So they're still around. So we did Christmas dinner, gift openings and stuff, and then we watched the movie Dope, which I
Oh,
told you about this
nice.
summer. I actually told our listeners about this summer. Great movie still. They really enjoyed it. Or at least Lana really
Good.
enjoyed it. She was the person that I'd hyped it up to before, and she said she really liked it. So that was good.
I think Dope
Um,
is on Netflix now.
is it really?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah, I told my siblings about it, and none of them have seen it yet, and they all want to see it. They haven't seen it yet. We actually just watched like it's not on Netflix. I just searched it,
Oh, okay.
unfortunately. We just watched it on like some random website, but really great movie. I really like it. Like could not recommend it enough. You haven't seen it yet, have you?
I have not seen it yet
Okay.
either.
Yeah, it's a really good. It's a really fun movie. And then we didn't really, Lane and I didn't really get too much alone time. We didn't really get too much chill time on Christmas, which was unfortunate. But we still really just chilled with the family. She did like a lot of cooking and stuff. I restarted the second Game of Thrones book. I think it's Clash of Kings.
Yeah.
Or sorry, the Song of Ice and Fire books. Really,
Right.
I call it Game of Thrones just because that's kind of what it's informally
Nah,
known
you're
as,
good.
more or
You're
less.
good.
Yeah.
You're
So,
good.
um, I had gotten like 100 pages into it a while ago, but because it's been so long since I've actually read it, I just figured, you know what, I'll scrap everything, restart from the beginning, get everything back. So,
How
did that.
far into it are you
I
now?
only made like 2 chapters in, so
Okay.
not very far at all.
Okay.
It's like the first Arya, the first chapter is Arya, and the second one I think is Sansa.
Yeah.
And I think I just finished that one. So,
Okay.
and then I guess that was more or less it for Christmas. Gift exchange, got lots of like sweaters and stuff. So I
Sweaters are legit.
I didn't have a whole lot to ask for, but one of the things I was really looking to get, and I just feel like I wear the same few sweaters over and over again. I have a few in my closet, but I just don't really like wearing some of them. So Lena went out. She got a little creative. Got me a few different types of sweaters. I really like a lot of them. So um, I'm actually gonna have to wash some of them. I finally like tried most of them on today, so she was able to see them because I never got to really fashion them for her.
Ah,
So
okay.
we did that today. And then yeah, my little brother he came in like I think last Friday, and
Uh-huh.
then my little sister and oldest brother they came in just after Christmas, and my oldest brother came here. He's here right now with his son and his girlfriend. So um, good to see them again. I haven't seen my nephew in 2 years.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah,
So it's been a minute.
yeah, definitely. He's grown up, man. He's grown up.
No,
You
it's
know,
funny. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say that when like you were a kid, you would see like your parents' family, you'd see like family friends, right?
Yeah.
And every single time you see them, they're like, "Oh, do you remember me? Do you remember me?" Like, and you're obviously thinking like, "No, I don't remember you." Like, I see so many different faces come through here all the time, like especially in big gatherings. Like, no, I don't remember you, but you
Yeah.
always say yes anyway. I felt my nephew comes in. I'm like, "Hey, do you remember me?" He's like, "Yeah, I remember you." And I'm like, "I don't think he really remembers me,"
It's
but
like
then
this dude's tripping.
I was
He
like, he's
does
the
not
same
remember
height.
me.
Yeah, but then my sister was like, yeah, you remember him? And she's like, what's his name? Or I think I actually said that, and he said Reza. He said Uncle Reza, so
Ah.
then my sister asked, do you remember me? He's like, yeah. She said, what's my name? He goes, Sarah. I'm like, oh snap, look at that. And then Sarah's like, Mohammed probably just told you our names in the car before you got in here. But
Hey
it was
man.
funny how they were because they drove up here from Indiana, so it's about a 10 to 11 hour drive, and
Oh wow.
my brother was like, what movies did you watch to Zane? And I'm like, oh snap, I didn't realize they had a TV in their car,
What?
which is insane because
Oh my god,
here's the thing.
baller.
All right, I haven't been a passenger in a car in a long time, and I've certainly never really watched movies on like a tablet or a phone. So it was just like kind of my natural thought when it came to watching a movie in a car is having like a DVD player in the car and like TVs on the back of the seats or something like that. So when it took me like 2 seconds, it was just like a quick thought, it was like 1 or 2 seconds that went by. I'm like, oh snap, he's talking about like the iPad or whatever. But like when I was a kid, I used to love car trips, and I remember I had a Game Gear at the time
Oh
when I was
wow,
young,
fancy.
and a Game Gear needed 6 batteries. So
Yes, it did.
we would go on a car trip. I would need to get like 20 to 40 batteries, depending on how long the trip was, to
Right.
ensure that I never ran out of batteries before the trip ended. Um, but like that was my entertainment. I couldn't watch a movie. I would never dream of watching a movie or TV in the
Right.
car. It was either
That was just unconscionable. It was
yeah,
not even
it
unconscionable.
was
It just
play
wasn't an
games with my
option.
siblings. Yeah, no, it really wasn't an option. Like you might think, hey, I want to watch. I wish I could watch like X-Men animated series or something on the road, but you can't.
Right.
Um,
Because that's crazy talk.
yeah, it is. But you have your portable games, and you got books, and you got your family. That's really all you needed, all you had. If you needed something more, sorry, tough luck.
Yeah. Stop being
So
so high maintenance.
yeah, I just thought that was kind of funny, like the immediate thought that went through my head, because to this day I never watched videos in a car because I'm very rarely a passenger in a car, or at least a passenger that I have the option to just zone out and do my own thing and watch videos in the car
Right.
like that. I'll be like Lana will drive around or something like that. But
Right. But you're
at
not gonna be
that point,
sitting there
yeah,
watching a movie while she's driving.
exactly. So I just thought that was kind of funny.
That's
And
ridiculous.
and then today we went out and bought a few gifts for my niece and my nephews, because I got a lot of them in the area now. So Zane's here for the my Muhammad's son Zane. He's here, so we got him a couple things. I haven't given them to him yet though. And then we stopped at my half sister's place and dropped some gifts off for her 3 kids. So you got to build that reputation as the cool uncle early on.
So what'd you get him?
Mostly clothes. For I don't
You're
want to
not
say.
cool.
I think he's next door, but
You ain't
mostly
cool.
clothes. Got a couple other things, man. Chill.
You ain't
Nothing.
cool.
Look,
The
all right.
uncle giving away clothes.
Hey, at least I got them gifts. All right, I'm hooking them up. All right.
Uh,
You got to build a
you remember what it
reputation.
was like getting clothes when you were a kid?
No, because I didn't celebrate Christmas, son.
That's true.
I was
Don't
happy
make
with what
don't
I
make
got.
this racial. Don't make this a race thing.
I was happy with what I got.
Yeah, but you're not like most people though, because
I
the,
know.
the
I
kids are
know.
gonna be like, "Yo,
No,
where's my hoverboard at?" And be like, "Stop calling it a hoverboard. It doesn't hover."
look, I call it a hoverboard too, and other people are correcting me. I know it's not a hoverboard. I just I don't know the actual name of it. Um,
Yeah,
to me, it's a Segway without the handle. That's all it really is.
I know that's a better description than a hoverboard.
Segway with no handle. Um,
Yeah,
um,
just a lot of hyphens.
yeah. Love my hyphens. Very underutilized punctuation. Or no, sorry, not what is it? What am I trying to think of?
uh, anyways,
Whatever. Look. We're not English majors. Don't hold that against us. All I'm
definitely not
saying,
English majors. 100% not English majors.
all I'm saying
Although I'm not
is,
hating on English majors, I'm just not one of them.
yeah. No, I don't think there was any implication that you were hating on them in any shape until you said I'm not hating on them. Then it kind of sounded like you actually were.
Well, there you go. You win some, you lose some.
Yeah. Take an L here.
Yeah.
Um. So, we did get them like a couple little games and stuff, but
What kind of games?
for not like so like a fun thing. Maybe I shouldn't say game. For my nephews, we like the twins. We got them like this. It's like a Crayola type of mat, so you just lay it out. You can draw on them with the
Oh, that's
crayons and
cool.
stuff, and then you kind of just wipe them clean.
How old are they?
They're 3. They just turned 3.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Zane
know
is
if I
5.
didn't hear that
He's
initially.
older. He wants like different things. So my brother's roommate, he got him a little like helicopter, like a remote control helicopter, RC helicopter.
Whoa.
And then
That's cool.
And then he got like a Beyblades arena, because he
What is
apparently loves
that?
Beyblades. And you know Beyblades. If you don't know it, Sandy, you know what Beyblades is.
I have
But
no idea
listen-
what Beyblades are.
You don't. Oh, okay. So it was actually a TV show. It took me a long time to convince myself that this was a TV show. I googled it, confirmed. It took me a day. I didn't feel like googling it for a while. So basically, you have like spinning tops, right? You spin the tops
Like a dreidel?
like a dreidel, basically. Yeah, that's Beyblade. It's like a top, but it attaches to this little device, and you stick like a little I don't know. It's almost like a stick into this little device, and you pull as hard as you can on this device, and it spins the top, and it sent it into this little like this arena. It's a circle arena,
Oh
low friction,
yeah,
and it spins. But you battle against another person, so they have
yeah.
their own Beyblade, and you have yours, and you both launch yours into the arena, and they'll collide and stuff and hit the walls. And basically, the goal is to be the last Beyblade standing, and you play to 11 or whatever. So you play, first to 11, and that's it. It's a simple concept, and he loves it. Maju, my little brother,
I'm
just
sold.
played against him. So it's a very loud game, though. That's the only thing. It can be a bit dangerous if you spin too hard and you hit the other person because you're both going into this small arena.
So you're both sort of like leaned in and
Yeah,
whatnot.
yeah, exactly. So you got to be careful with the way you do it.
Are you saying it's one of those take no prisoner type of games?
It can be. It can be if you're 5.
Hey, it's real out here.
Some people are very competitive.
I mean, I think it's important to teach that kind of competitive spirit early on.
He's a very graceful loser. He was a very graceful loser. He lost to Majib 10 to 11, and
He didn't rage.
he did not rage. He was congratulating Majib. He was telling He was telling his dad. He was telling my brother.
Ah,
Majib won and stuff like that. So I was very
that's really
I was very
nice.
impressed. Yeah, very very impressive.
You're saying he didn't use any like sexual or racial things
No.
like you would on Xbox Live?
He did not. He didn't pull an Odell Beckham and go helmet to helmet with Majib.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
good for him.
yeah, I know.
He was just there so he wouldn't get fined.
He put on a good show for my brother. That way he can stay up a little later or get some extra ice cream tonight, something like that.
Yeah, well, he knows how to play it.
Yeah. So it's been a good mix of just chill time, family time, hanging out with Elena time. Tomorrow I'm actually going to go into a lab. There's a little bit of work that I want to do, but it will be a relaxing work. It's not like I have any hard deadlines to hit. I just want to get out the house so I can kind of force myself to do a little bit of work. That's more or less the only reason why I'm going in tomorrow.
I hear you.
Don't need to meet with anybody. Got no meetings on my calendar for the next 2 weeks. Very awesome. I
Well,
love
look
that
at you.
feeling. Yeah.
Riding high right now. I took my sister to go see Star Wars.
Oh yeah, I forgot to say that. I went to see Star Wars too. Sorry, that's my last thing. Went there yesterday. I'll let you talk about it. I just forgot to tell you that I saw it.
Well, so a funny thing about me seeing Star Wars, the neighborhood movie theater that I go to has been tricked out.
The AMC.
The AMC in Painter's Crossing.
I haven't been.
It's a dine-in theater now,
Yeah.
which is crazy because I didn't think that. For a long time, I thought that they were just going to close it down because it was really old and run down for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was like literally where I grew up. I would go to the movies all the time.
It was a
And
spot to go to back in middle and early high school because
oh, absolutely.
you would get dropped off by your parents and you might see a movie, you might not, and you just chill around that plaza for a few hours because you couldn't drive. But it had there was food, there was the movies.
Yeah,
and
there was
then-
a Friendlies there. There
Yeah.
was an Applebee's. Was there an Applebee's?
I think
I think the Applebee's was. There was definitely a Fridays.
There may have been an Applebee's at some point, but that's not there anymore.
Right.
And then there was an Arby's and a Burger King, and the Burger King's not there, and the Friendlies has actually just been closed down too. I don't know if you noticed that.
Oh no.
Yeah,
I mean, that Friendlies wasn't doing anything real. Let's just be honest with each other.
they were serving 14-year-olds, dude.
Oh yeah, the worst.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
So I bought tickets for what I thought was the Wednesday, the 23rd.
Yeah.
I was like, let's go see it, and you had to pick your own seats. So, this is nice. Like, we can just show up whenever, in a
Right.
sense, and then they just sort of show you to your seat. So I walk in, getting excited to see Star Wars.
Mhm.
The guy rips my ticket, and he goes, "Wait, hold on a second. Let me see your ticket again." And I was like, "Yeah, sure. G5 is my seat or whatever it was." He goes, "Sir, your ticket's for tomorrow."
Oh, wow.
And I go, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, your ticket's for Christmas Eve." And I go, "Oh," and it was like 8:30 or something. My
Yeah.
sister goes, "Really? You really did this?" And I go, "As you were." So we just drove back and we went the next day. And what was funny was the next day when the day was correct and we walked into the movie theater, it turns out I booked the handicap row.
Oh, wow.
Which is nice because there is unobstructed views,
Yeah, yeah.
but kind of a dick move, right? Because this isn't like the corporate bathroom where you know me. I love the handicap stall. Just room to do a few jumping jacks if I wanted to.
I love how the listeners get these like intimate details about our lives. Like, hey, our personal preference of stall. Like,
Yeah.
what? Really? Why would you guys need to know that? You get what you get.
You get what you get, and it's important because you should know that the handicap stall
Are the
gives you the
best.
most bang for your buck.
Yeah. Sometimes you get a sink in there, man.
Oh my god, I the one in Amex had a sink, but I never used it because it was just too much. I was like, you know what? I've already used this one service, the stall itself, and I don't think I need to partake in sink services.
I see. Interesting.
But it was nice because like each of these, so it used to be just like a crowded theater. Each row had what, like 15 seats or whatever.
Yes.
Now each row has like 8 seats, and each seat is a massive plush lazy boy.
Oh, okay.
And there's like a food menu, and I was doing the math, and a family, so it costs like $15 to see a movie. You pay $15 for a family of 4, that's $60. Keep that number in your head.
Yes.
Plus, the minimum entree was $12. So they had entrees, they had like a mac and cheese section, they had burgers, they had sandwiches,
Wow.
not including, candy, soft drink,
And stuff.
and popcorn.
So
If your minimum family of 4 decides, you know what, let's just eat dinner here tonight,
yeah.
and the minimum thing that you order is a $12 thing, like let's just say it's a cheeseburger with no frills, right?
Right.
Then that is another $48 for
Right.
food.
$100.
You haven't put in drink yet,
Mhm.
right? Because you got to have a soft drink. And then next thing you know, it's like, oh my god, you're spending over $100 to take your family to the movies.
Right.
What has happened to America?
The price of movies, dude. So, I was actually going to ask, what was the $12 item?
Oh,
Do you remember?
I think it was like some kind of like really basic sandwich.
And do you know what the most expensive thing was, or like kind of like an average price or something?
The average price I want to say was anywhere between $14 and $16.
Okay. And then how much was like a popcorn? Because nowadays you go to the movie theater and a popcorn is like $7, or a soft drink is like $5 or $6.
So soft drinks I think are around $5.
Oh, geez, wow. Okay.
And I don't know if you get unlimited refills though. I know with the
Yeah.
popcorn you got unlimited refills because it wasn't. Well, I don't know what. I think there's like different options of popcorn that you can order.
Mhm.
One of them being like the unlimited refill version or
Right.
option of the thing. But it was kind of nice. I felt like a massive a-hole because I had booked the handicap one, but there was nobody there that like sat next to us in that row.
Okay. Yeah. I
So
was gonna
it-
say. I mean, after everyone kind of comes in, you see there's no one else there. You're good.
Yeah. I mean, people were giving us looks because we were definitely not like their prototypical, person that would sit in this row.
Yeah.
But it didn't matter. I liked the movie. I thought it was funnier than I thought it was going to be, which I thoroughly enjoyed.
Yeah.
I was definitely like the entire theater was laughing out loud, which is great.
Was it packed?
It was packed,
Okay.
so that was fun. I'm glad I saw it when I saw it because I definitely had like a really intense desire to see the movie, but it wasn't one of those things where I needed to wait to like 3 a.m. on the first night of its showing because the other
Absolutely.
showings are out.
Absolutely.
It was just not something that I personally needed to do, but for those that did and enjoyed it, it was great because they got to enjoy it earlier. But for me personally, I was just like, I saw it. It was a lot of fun. I can't wait for the next one.
Yeah.
I'm also one of those rare guys who didn't 100% hate the originals.
You
The
mean the
prequels?
episodes 1 through 3? Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, like I was excited because the CG was pretty good. The Anakin fights with Obi-Wan were pretty intense.
Mhm.
I didn't notice that the acting was as bad when I was younger.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear
And
you.
part
on
of
that.
me is wondering, like, is everyone saying that the original 3 episodes, 4, 5, and 6, are better because that's like the cool thing to say, or do actually people feel that way? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like so. I saw episodes. I actually had never seen the Star Wars movie in its entirety, at least until I was in college. So just within like 7 years ago, maybe 8 years ago, is when I first saw them all. And I can definitely say that I certainly don't hold episodes 4 through 6 and as high a regard as a lot of other people who maybe seen them in, when they were younger, or at least when the movies were newer. But I still did enjoy them. I still definitely appreciate episodes 4 through 6 as being great movies for what they were at the time, like what was out and like what was comparable at the time.
Right.
But I also did notice like the cheesy acting or the cheesy lines, kind of like, the Death Star can be destroyed with one well placed laser. Like, really?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah.
Things like that.
Somebody's getting fired for that.
Exactly. It's like, hey, wait, we have a weakness?
Yeah.
Why?
You're telling me that a laser that can destroy worlds has one spot that it can just insta kill? Like, that's not OP?
Yeah.
So, but to bring it all back, I really enjoyed the movie, and
Yeah.
I think my sister did as well. So,
Yeah, I agree with you. Really enjoy the movie. And for people who are like wary to see it because you haven't seen other Star Wars movies, all you really need to know about the other Star Wars movies is who Luke and Leia are, who Han is, and who Chewie is. Like, you just kind of need to know like super basic things that most people would have already have had spoiled at some point in their lives. You don't need to know anything about the prequels, and you don't really need to know too much about episodes 4 through 6. My thought process, or my initial thoughts, are that Disney wants episodes 7 through 9 to more or less stand on their own in a fashion that, in a similar manner that 4 through 6 were able to stand on their own.
yeah.
So
I also found out that a lot of the Star Wars canon has been pushed forward by the animated series, the Clone Wars,
yeah, that's what I've heard.
which I think is really cool because years ago you would have thought that like oh, after episodes 1, 2, and 3, that's it. Like, that's just sort of, and then a lot, like, episode 3 happens, and then a boatload of stuff happens that you have to sort of think about in your head, and
Right.
then we go to episode 4. But
Yeah.
it's nice that there people are starting to link that in a more linear fashion, or more tangible fashion at least.
Right.
My parents and my family and I, we all saw The Big Short yesterday.
Okay.
The new that Wall Street movie.
Yeah.
Phenomenal movie. Very, very funny, very scary in terms of the messages that they're talking about.
Yeah.
But definitely a movie that I recommend.
I see.
It's got the guy who, Jesus Christ, Christian Bale.
Yeah, I'm looking at that. Christian Bale, Steve Carell, Ryan
Steve Carell,
Gosling,
yeah.
Brad Pitt, Karen Gillan, and Marissa Tomei.
It's very good. It's something that I definitely recommend you going to go see.
Interesting. Yeah, I hadn't really heard much about this before.
It gives a really awesome overview over a really complex topic that you can actually understand at the end of the day.
I see.
So, because no one's ever going to want to watch a movie on subprime mortgages, but they do it in a way that's like, oh my God, like Doomsday.
Oh, yes, I do remember hearing about this after all. Yeah, I remember this.
So, I know the other movie that I wanted to see while I was home was Spotlight, the movie about the Boston Globe news reporters who did the investigative journalism on the sort of priest like sexually abusing the kids or what have you.
Oh, yes, yes.
I know that movie has gotten just ridiculously good reviews, so I definitely wanted to check that out.
What's it called again?
Spotlight?
Spotlight. Okay. I'm just keeping kind of a list of the things that I might want to start checking out myself because there are
Pick
a few
your own
movies that
goddamn movies.
Hey,
I'm kidding.
I don't keep up with movies very well at times. So, I only know like big movies that are coming out, and there's some
Yeah.
other movies that are out or are coming out that are probably worth seeing more so than other movies. Like, so I've been thinking about seeing Concussion. It's sitting at a 60% right now. It was actually higher a week or two ago. I thought it was like in the 80s, but it's dropped a good bit. But I really want to see Creed. That's one movie that I absolutely want to see.
Oh,
I
yeah.
haven't seen it, and
Everyone who's seen it, even like the people who would strike me as the least likely to see it, were like, that was an amazing movie.
yeah. I mean, even like Bill Simmons has said like Sly could be considered for an Oscar for this movie, which is interesting.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like hearing that's kind of surprising.
That's high praise.
It really is.
Well, yeah, I mean, I definitely want to see it. I just there's so many other movies. There's just like I don't know. It's definitely like Oscar season, right? So a
Right.
lot of these movies are gonna be like, oh, let's take a look. Let's see what it's all about. But if that's the praise for Creed, then I think we have to give it a shot.
Um, there's another movie I'm trying to think of that I wanted to see too. Oh, Sicario is actually out.
On
It's on DVD now, so I have to check that out because you've been telling me to see that for a while.
Oh, definitely see that movie. That movie is amazing.
Yeah, it should be on Amazon right now to rent.
Oh wow, yeah, definitely do that tonight. Um, I've been binging. I think is a better term. House of Lies,
Oh
the
yeah, you
Don
told me a
Cheadle
bunch.
show on Showtime.
Yeah,
It's about the consulting group, and I just remember watching it years ago, up until season 2, and then like I caught up, and I just like totally forgot about it,
hmm
and now I find out that they're up to season 4, so I was like, oh, let me just watch from the beginning again. Um, and once I do that, I'm gonna go back to that new Jeremy Piven show, Mr. Selfridges or something. Um,
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's like a period piece where he plays this guy from Chicago, but he's in London trying to create like the American department store experience out there.
Yeah.
Um, I remember really enjoying it, but then again, sort of running into the issue of, oh well, I've all caught up now, and I don't know what else I can do. So I'm gonna try and definitely make time for that.
Yeah. Speaking of shows, the one show that I really want to watch is the Man of the High Tower, the Amazon show.
Oh yeah.
Um, I haven't heard too much about it. I've only heard that it's good, but I haven't really heard friends discuss this movie or this TV show and explain, why they love it so much. So,
So I've had some friends try and tell me some stuff about it, and they're
mhm.
saying like the acting isn't good,
Huh,
but but the storyline is awesome, and it definitely sets itself up for a really nice season 2,
I see.
which could be cool.
Interesting. Yeah, I need to watch Transparent too. You mentioned that a week or two ago, and I really don't know what to expect from that show. I just know that I should watch it at some point.
Yeah, considering it won all those awards.
Yeah, yeah,
So, yeah, I mean, we're so blessed to have ridiculously amounts of good TV where, if a show doesn't grab your attention like immediately, you just move on to the next thing and you don't feel bad about it at all.
yeah.
Mr. Robot, if you haven't given that a go yet,
Ah, yeah.
that my roommate was like, nah, that sounds kind of stupid, sounds really dumb, and I was like, nah, dude, like he was really bored one night. I go, dude, give Mr. Robot 10 minutes. If the first 10 minutes of that show don't make you want to watch the rest of the season, then fine, I'll never bring it up again. And then he later told me that he was binging it. So I was like, yeah, I told you, man, that first 10 is one of the best first 10 minutes of a show.
Really?
And I know that that's really high praise, and I mean it that way because for me, I've gotten to the point where if I don't like if the pilot doesn't hold my attention, I'm out. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh, we'll give it a few episodes, we'll let things start to develop. It's like you've got to hit me like fast, and I might be missing out on a ton of great shows based on that logic. But you know what? I ain't got the time because the only reason why I'm able to do this right now is because I can't play Call of Duty. Okay.
Yeah,
When I get back to New York and the duty train revs up again, like it's over, dude.
yeah.
You know where my time's gonna be. So I hope you've been making a ton of progress.
I haven't been playing as much as you would think. I did have a good run yesterday though.
What level are you on now? Or at?
Um, I think I'm actually at 48. So
What does it go to?
I want to say 50 or 50, 55 probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know right now that I'm not chomping at the bit, but when I get back to New York, you know it's about to go down.
Yeah. Yeah. It will. So I've actually been playing with Mark a good bit, and then Bale surprisingly got it. Bale's just one of our friends from high school. Went to the same high. Oh, I guess Mark and Bale are both friends of mine. That
Now,
went to
did
the same
Bale
high school.
go to high school with us at the same
He
time?
was 2 years ahead of us. So
Okay, because I mean, I just
yeah,
never knew that he was there.
yeah. um, but so they both have it, and um, they're not liking it as much as I am, or maybe I think they do enjoy it, but it's hit or miss a lot of games. But what I'm feeling right now, based off of last night at least, is that they're playing too much into the hands of other enemies. So like, when people are kind of like chilling in like one room, like I know you don't know the maps, but there's one particular map where everybody kind of rushes one building, right? And there's
What
like,
map is that?
it's called Exodus.
Is Exodus the one on the rooftops?
No, that I don't remember what the name of that one is. Exodus is the one where it's like one long like street kind of thing, and there's like this building, and there are stairs that lead up into the building on both sides of the map, and it's like kind
Oh
of an
yeah,
office.
the long building.
Yeah, and there's a turtle like statue on one side.
Yeah, I like that. I like that map.
Yeah, well, everybody goes to that middle building, and everybody sits in that middle building and waits for people to come up the stairs or jump into the windows or something. And
Right.
the majority of that map is like 4 of 6 people on each team fighting for that middle building and sitting in that middle building when they finally get it. And then the other like 2 people on the teams are like kind of running around different parts of the map. And I refuse to try to go into that building. Like 90% of the time, I refuse to enter that building from the stairs because everyone's just waiting for you to come through there. So I go different sides and different routes. And I think what I was seeing yesterday is that Mark and Bale were at times going straight up through the stairs because they were getting frustrated with the kids sitting there. So they were just trying to get back into the action quicker. But with Call of Duty, with how fast you die and how much of an advantage you can have if you're expecting somebody to be coming flying up the stairs who is in a sprint while you're aimed down sight, you're just going to get those kills, 9 times out of 10.
Right.
So I tend to just flank around. I'll enter the building from different sides where people generally aren't at. I will typically not clear the building. I'll like pick up 1 or 2 people and then leave before everyone else tries to kill me. And that's kind of the way I play the map and I play the game in general. I'm typically not trying to clear everybody out, especially since most of the time that'll get you killed. So
I think it's about learning the mechanics of the game, right?
yeah,
Because we did buy the game late, so we are at a disadvantage. And for them, especially because they've been playing different games, that there must be a residual sort of hangover of tactics that they were playing in a different type of game.
yeah, that's kind of what I was feeling, and I think Mark was trying to discount that. He was saying, "Nah, like he's, he knows he's played Call of Duty, he's played shooters, so it's like more or less the same. It should be pretty quick for him to pick up." But
And that's not untrue.
it's not. It's absolutely not.
The
But
meta
the thing
games.
is, you and I, so he hasn't played a Call of Duty game in any significant manner since maybe Black Ops 1.
How many years ago was that?
I want to say 5 or 6.
Exactly.
Like, so you and I, it was Modern Warfare 2 he played a bit of. He didn't play as much as like Cooper or Bale or I. Then there was Black Ops 1. Again, he didn't play as much as you and I played. Then there was Modern Warfare 3, which he sold pretty quickly. And that was it for him. And he's been out of it since then. And that's what there was.
Man's been out of the game.
There was Black Ops 2, then Advanced Warfare or Ghosts, and then this. So they had like 5 years. And you and I we've missed like 2 years, even though we've purchased each of the last 2. We never really played with them. We never played them for very long at all. And so this is the first one that I've liked in a while. And I think
like off the bat.
Yeah, and I'll stick with it for quite a while, I imagine, too. But you and I have just had a lot of experience learning to play with one another. So you and I play very well with each other.
Yeah, I think that's one of the most incredible things about this little relationship that we have is when we play these types of games, it's sort of unspoken the way we play.
Yeah.
Where like you have your part of the map that you hunt around on, and I have the way I play and where I go, and we very rarely, unless we're playing like an objective-based game where you and I both have to capture something, when it's only on one part of the map, do we ever find ourselves like close to each other?
Right.
Because normally the closest we'll ever be is, well, we're in the loading screen together, and then I'll see you after the match.
Right. Yeah, no, that's absolutely right. We'll run into each other every now and then. We'll end up in a similar building.
Yeah.
I think you've noticed that about me, and I think it's gotten you killed a couple of times, is I tend to not hang around in a certain spot too long. I know it's gotten Mark killed quite a few times, and I've tried to announce it now and say, hey, I'm leaving. I'm not sticking around because there are 2 people there, and there could be more. I literally just killed somebody here. You don't want to be here because someone's
Right.
looking. So, um,
That's nice of you.
and I think that you and I tended to not run into the same areas. Like it obviously takes a little bit of time to learn the maps and figure that out. But the way we would play like Raid Dom and Black Ops 2, or we would play, um, what was the one? The one with a little wooden bridge, or what? It doesn't really matter what map it was. There were just certain places that we went and we kind of became good at dealing with enemies. And the bigger the party that you play with, the harder it is to distribute how well somebody's going to do. Like, if I go 20-0 one game in a TDM game that only goes to 75, it's unlikely that somebody else is going to go like 25-0 or something like that.
Right.
It just doesn't really work out that
Because
way.
you have essentially killed off everyone that could have gone to me.
Yeah, exactly. And so we tried to play last night. We were playing TDM, Team Deathmatch, and it went okay. We won a lot of the games that we played, but Mark and Bale didn't do great in a lot of the games too. So I was like, all right, well, how about you guys try kill confirm for once? So for those that don't know, the way the game mode works, there's Team Deathmatch, which is basically if I kill you, I get points for my team. That's 1 point for my team, and the game goes to 75. So you need a total of 75 kills to win. If you die, you just press a button and you come back and you just get right back into the fight.
Like real life.
Yeah, just like real life. And kill confirmed, what happens is when you die, you actually don't score a point for your team. When you get killed, you drop a set of dog tags behind, and for your team to score, you have to pick up that enemy's dog tags.
Hence confirming the kill.
Exactly. And so that game mode, because you have to confirm the kill, you have to pick up that tag, you have to run out to where that person was. It tends to force people to not sit in certain rooms very long. They kind of want to be mobile. They have to move around because they have to pick up those tags. And so I thought that they would have more success in that game mode, but we jumped in. We played one game, and I did really well in that game, but they did not. Neither of them did very well, so they just called it after that.
I like how you're ruining their Christmas.
Well, I don't think either of them listen to the podcast, but I also don't think that it really matters either. Like I'm not criticizing their gameplay or anything. Just talking about what happened. That's all.
Well, I just think that with each it's like a sport, right? It's like in a sense
Yeah.
for us, this is a team sport that we play.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not saying that's as rigorous as that. It's just so we're clear.
No,
we're definitely not.
It's a good comparison. It's one team against another team.
Yeah. And you and I have basically been on the same intramural team for years now.
Yeah.
So you and I know what each other likes to do, and that's just basically come from hundreds and hundreds and hundreds.
And now you're just making it sound like way too much. All right, it's not that many hundreds. All right, chill.
How many hundreds has it been though? At least one.
It's more than 100. It's probably like 400 hours. If I just had to put a guess, it's probably even more than that.
It's easily more than that.
Yeah.
But 400 hours of playing with each other,
just playing different
and realizing each other's tendencies.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like those soccer programs out in Europe where they recruit really early, and you get to know these people from a really young age, and you realize, oh, you like to do this in this situation, and then when you do this, I had to do this, and it just becomes second nature, almost unspoken.
Right.
But that just comes after literally rote memorization.
Yeah, I like to imagine, because when you said the interviews, I like to think of it like pickup basketball. 5v5. You and I are people that we're always on the same team. We're always on the same team.
Yeah, we're always at the gym at the same time. We don't go to the gym when the other person usually isn't there.
Yeah, and if you decide to cut, I can pretty much pick up on that instantly, and I'll be able to find you, find you when you're open, and every now and then when you just play with other people, it can become a bit of a mess depending on other people's tendencies. It's just how it goes.
Yeah,
you play off your team a lot, and you and I tend to play in a certain way where we don't interfere with one another, It's a lot of
Right.
fun. I think it's a lot of fun. It's probably the most fun that I do have because when the party becomes too big, it just becomes a little unwieldy and difficult to
To manage.
yeah, and to replicate your successes that you typically would have when you play alone. There's not, when I'm very successful, like I said earlier, it's very difficult for that wealth to kind of be distributed across everybody else, for everyone else to do very well. And it's, as much of a team game as it is, I think the thing about Call of Duty is that it's a very easy game to play by yourself or with a very small group and still be successful and have personal stats be
Yeah.
the most important thing.
I mean, we also don't play enough with a large group of people.
Mhm.
We used to do that a long, long time ago, and we kind of got it figured out. When it used to be 8 of us nightly on
Right.
these parties, we it wasn't perfect, but we were definitely a lot smoother than what we are today. But just based on the fact that we grow up and not everyone's still around to play the same games or want to play the same games, people start to drop off, and if you come back, it can be a little bit tough to pick up on the new tempos.
Yeah, yeah,
But
for
that just
sure.
comes with time. Like if you, I'm sure once they put a little bit more time to it, they'll be right back in it.
Yeah, I think so. I hope they stick with it because it's always fun to just have other people playing it too. Is as much fun as it is to play with you, it's also nice to have like a third or a fourth person in there.
Oh sure.
That way, because like when you play game modes like Domination, it's just very tough to pull the team together. I tried playing like 2 or 3 games yesterday, and it is not easy, man. Well, first of all, I got thrown into games late, so
Okay.
if you get thrown into a game late and you stick
The
stick with
excuses
it
are
the
already
entire
flying.
yeah, no. If you get thrown into a game late, no, I'm not putting an excuse in. If you get thrown into a game late and you stick with it until the very end, and you lose, it doesn't actually count on your stats. So that's one way to encourage people to stay in a game even if they're losing. But what happens is if you join to a game late, it's likely that somebody else has quit and
And there was a reason why they quit.
and they quit because the other team was dominating them too much. So you join this game and you're joining in fresh. You have no idea what's going on. You have no idea what's happening, but you're typically losing, and the other team has all sorts of things going for them, and it's very difficult to recoup and recover from that. So a lot of times people just leave after that. So I was joining these games very late and we weren't winning and we were just getting crushed. So I stuck with one of them. I left the other two because it just wasn't worth it, and I didn't bother after that.
Okay. We'll get there though.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
I
I'm
want to.
waiting
I
for you
want to
to get
do.
back
I
and try
want to
the
do kill confirmed. I definitely want to just start. I don't know if I'll be able to catch up with you, but the idea is to be playing the same game mode so we can get rid of or finish the challenges.
yeah. I'm not too much further ahead of you. I'd say I'm probably like, I don't know, at most a week of playtime ahead of you. Like in terms of not playtime, not like actual game time, but you just signing on night to night, and you'll be caught up pretty quickly.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to do a lot of solo work.
Yeah, you'll be fine. I remember in previous years you got ahead of me, but I think you were also taking your Xbox home and you were playing solo, and that's the time. This is the time when I'm getting ahead. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I've been playing a couple other games too, so
What else have you been
you got
playing?
time. Dark Souls. That game is tough, man. It's brutal. I'm playing it on the 360. I got to the first. It's like the first real challenge. There are like 2 bosses that you fight beforehand, but they're kind of like intros. They're not difficult. This boss is no joke. It's really frustrating.
Oh, I bet I know exactly how that frustration feels right now.
Yeah, I'll give you a quick recap or like a quick explanation of how it works. I'll be quick. Basically, in Dark Souls, it's so like for the listeners, Dark Souls is a very very like a notoriously difficult game. You're a dude who has it's like a melee only weapon game for the most part. You have like a sword or like a mace or a spear, and you have a shield. And the enemies are plentiful, and they do massive amounts of damage every single time you get hit by them. So you have to be very cautious and methodical with the way you attack and dodge enemy attacks. But everything is like very slow. So you get hit, or like if you make one wrong move, you can kind of just see the enemy just taking advantage of that.
Yeah. So it demands precision, is what you're saying.
Absolutely, exactly. And so if you die, you collect things from enemies called souls, right? And those are kind of currency. They can be used to purchase things, but they can also be used to level up your character and increase your stats. And so if you die, you leave behind all of your souls that you've collected, as well as a couple of other things. And if you get back to that spot that you died, you can recover all the souls that you lost previously. So if you die, as long as you make it back to that same point, you're okay. Like you recover what you lost, other than just the lost time that it took you to get there. Now I was fighting this boss, right? And this boss is pretty difficult. It's like a gargoyle that has come to life, and it's pretty big. And I'm fighting it, and I start to make progress with it. I die a couple times, I get better, and eventually I get it down to like half health. Well, what happens is when you get it down to half health, a second one shows up, and it's I haven't figured out how to beat it yet. Handling two of them is nearly impossible. The second one comes in and starts breathing fire at you, and it has pretty good range, and then the other one's sitting there hitting you. And
how demoralizing was it when that second one showed up?
very, because getting back to the fight is not necessarily a cakewalk. And so I had made it to this part several times. I'll leave my souls behind. I come back, I pick them up, everything's good to go. Well, what happened is, and like the whole time, I'm just like chatting out with my little brother and sister, right? We're just talking, catching up. And I'm working my way to get there, and all of a sudden, I get into a bad place before the boss, and I die before I can recover everything. I was so salty, like I lost everything. Because once you die, if you die before you recover everything, that previous death is no longer recoverable. So everything that I had was lost at that point, and I was just so salty. I was so upset, like or annoyed. But I should be able to figure it out. Like I was able to make some progress. Maju was sitting there encouraging me. He loves watching me play like difficult games like this. So it's been fun. So I'll probably play that either tonight or tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm playing right now. I am playing The Last of Us, the remastered edition. I bought that PS TV, and there was some technical difficulties that I had to work through, but I'm glad that it's actually somewhat operational now.
Yeah.
And I'm playing on this ridiculous difficulty where you take one shot and then it kills you. The issue right now is I'm trying to make my way through this apartment building, and there's just so many bad guys. These like zombie things everywhere, and I can get almost all of them dead except for two every time, and they're just so sensitive to noise that you think you're not making any noise, and all of a sudden you just see them turn around, they freak out, they yell at you, and it's an instant kill every time. So that's been really fun. I haven't seen any trophies pop up yet. I don't know if that just means I'm not far enough in the game yet, but I said I was going to platinum the game, and I know that there's a multiplayer part to this, which is going to be tough, because if that's the case and I can't platinum it, I just don't. I know that there's still a pretty vibrant online community for this game, but I'm not going to do it. My thing was I was going to come in here, I was going to play this game, I was going to beat it, and I was going to move on. And if it requires me to play online and it's like really tough, I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to play the DLC though, because it came with a disc. And after that, I'll most likely move on. So from that point, I will go back to Call of Duty as the primary focus of my gaming sort of time.
Yeah.
I did find out today that I've got $25 in Best Buy credit that I need to use up in 13 days. So I need to figure out what I'm throwing that money to. I was thinking about potentially throwing it to a new mic for podcasting.
Yeah.
What's interesting is if I buy one of the Yeti mics on Best Buy, they give me a $20 gift card back.
Oh.
And the price is comparable to what Amazon is selling for. It's only like a $1 difference. But Amazon's not giving me a $20 gift card for buying it. So I'm thinking about doing that in a day or two once I get paid again. That might be the smartest thing, because if I have $25 and there's no true game out that I'm looking to buy just yet, then wouldn't that just be a better use of the money? Because I can't let that money go to waste.
Right. That's true.
I also thought about maybe buying Halo, but I just don't think I'm ever going to get to a point where I play Halo.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Yeah, I think we've been very liberal with our purchases of several video games lately. And
no, exactly.
We should probably I feel like I at least need to just chill on purchases for quite a while.
Right. Because I bought Star Wars Battlefront.
Yeah.
And it's still in the plastic case.
I'm actually surprised that you bought that, but I feel like you can just make money if you sell it at the same time,
You know, you're probably right. I definitely had a ton of fun with it in the beta. Like, it was just too easy.
Hmm.
And there was something comforting about playing a game where you can just, like, rock people every night when you sign on. And it's like, yep, my job here is done.
I
And
want
you
to go
just,
ahead
like,
and say,
leave.
speak for yourself, because I did not find that game very easy when I played, man. I don't know what it is that you and your Ron were on, but you guys were killing it, and I was not, man.
Yeah.
I did not find that game easy, like, at all.
For some reason, I just found a lot of success in that game. And I was just like, you know what? I'm over this. Um, But once the reviews came out, you're like, oh, it makes sense. This doesn't seem like a game worth $60,
Yeah,
which is a high price point,
yeah,
and
absolutely.
totally understandable if people felt like the game could have just used a little bit more time, bacon, but it just I wanted it, and once you show me that deal, it's like, all right, well, if it's basically a buy one get one,
Hmm.
then I might as well, just get this game. And
Yeah,
if I never get to it, I never get to it.
yeah.
Although that's the first, because I don't think I've ever had a game just like sitting there, like, I'll get to it if I feel like it. Usually it's like, this is the game I bought. This is
Hmm.
what we're playing. We're playing it until the sticker comes off.
Yeah. I think what we're seeing right now is kind of what I was actually hoping for when the Xbox was first announced, with all like these digital deals and stuff that Steam has. I was hoping that the Xbox would have a lot of really awesome sales so you can get a lot of games for cheap. And what we saw, I think this year, at least this winter, was those types of deals. Like Dark Souls 2 dropped to $15, and that's like with all the DLC too. And I haven't even beaten the first one yet, and I pulled the trigger and I bought the second one. And I should say, not only had I not beaten the first one, I hadn't touched the first one, even though I owned it for a year. Um, I have Halo 5. I haven't finished the campaign yet. I haven't touched Metal Gear Solid 5 in like a month or two now.
Right.
Fallout 4 has been untouched since I got Call of Duty. I'm looking at my shelf right now. I actually have GTA 5, and I'm like nowhere in the campaign. And I actually want to go back and finish that game again just because it was so much fun the first time.
Oh yeah, and I know that they recently came out with the Christmas like stuff,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
and so there was a lot of free stuff there as well. Yeah, I think you're right. I think we might need to cool it a little bit on the spending, at least for this stuff, because we definitely have enough to keep us occupied for many moons.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And it might just be smarter that way to say, you know what, we can totally make do with what we have. Like, it's absolutely no reason to go out and buy new stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, basically.
Yeah, for me, it's going to be about making sure that I get all of the enjoyment I want out of these games, so that when the Division comes out, that I can basically just nerd out and just like disappear for that game. Although, like you said before, if that game decides to pull some cheese on me and go massively, RNGesus on me, then I will lose my mind.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
Oh, it's entirely within the realm of possibility that stuff happens,
Yeah.
and it makes sense that it would happen. But I mean, I'm just
So what Sandy means by that is basically that type of game. It's like an RPG, and you
it's a
can
role playing game.
yeah, you it's like a shooter role playing game. You earn
You create a character.
yeah, you
You
create a
sort of
character, you level up, you increase your power the more you play, and you're able to fight more and more difficult enemies. And along with that, you find weapons and gear that are better than the gear that you find in the early games. But in some games that we've played, you you can do the hardest content in the game and only have a chance at getting the reward that you want.
yeah. It's basically like a lottery
Yeah,
every time
exactly.
they
But
decide you've beaten something and they're going to start giving out rewards for finishing a mission.
right. And Sandy's more, and I think many people in general really like, hey, I've accomplished the hardest thing that there is to do in this game, and you'd mean to tell me I only have a 5% chance at getting it, which means I have to do it again and again and again just to have it drop for me. It's a bit frustrating and annoying, especially when you're playing with other people that are receiving all sorts of they're getting the same stuff that you want, even though you may have done it like 10 or 15 times more than them. They come in, they do it on their first try. So, if that happens, I can definitely see you
Yeah.
becoming very, very unhappy and dropping out immediately.
Well, New Year's resolution. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. And let's hope for the best.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think that wraps it up for this week then.
Yeah, we went about half an hour longer than we initially planned, but that's okay.
Yeah, this is what happens when we get into it.
Yeah, we start talking about video games and it goes on forever.
Yeah, and then it's just a black hole.
Yeah. All right. Was there anything else you wanted to discuss? Any
No, I think
music,
that's
movies, TV show? I guess we talked about movies.
I think we
and
talked
TV
about all of
shows,
it. Yeah.
All
Why don't you bring us out?
All right. Well, I'm Reza.
I'm Sandy.
Thanks a lot for listening. We'll catch you guys next week.
Yep, in the new year.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody.